Hey everybody, welcome back to the couch. My name is Melissa and this is Couch Mom Club. A few months back, I did a video that compared my natural birth experience to my C-section birth experience. In that video, I discussed my experiences and then I let you know which one I preferred. Now, I won't give you any spoilers. I'll just link that video right here in case you haven't seen it. Go ahead and watch it and then you'll get a better understanding of what I prefer. Do I prefer a C-section or do I prefer a natural birth? So now this video, I'm gonna be talking about, do I prefer a baby that's delivered by C-section or a baby that is delivered by natural birth? Now, with that being said, I'm gonna put Noel and Teo up against each other to determine which kid I like best.
And in this corner, weighing in at 20 pounds, standing at a whopping 2 foot 2 inches tall, it's the C-section baby, it's Noel! And in this corner, weighing in at 25 pounds, standing in at an incredible 2 foot 10 inches tall, it's the defending champion, it's the natural born Teo!
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love them both. Listen, if that was a bad joke, I'm so sorry. We're not gonna do the cancel Couch Mom Club. I'm so sorry. It was a bad joke. Fine. But I want you to know that I love them both very, very much. Maybe I love them for different reasons, but I love them equally. So this is not what the video is about. What the video is actually about is just telling you the difference between natural birth and C-section birth. There are some notable differences that I want you to know about. So watch till the end of the video so that you can get a better understanding of the differences when you have a baby by natural birth and a baby by C-section. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to answer a question that has been asked to me several times. Do I notice any differences developmentally or in the immune system of my child that was born naturally or my child that was born by C-section? So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I like to post videos about motherhood. Usually anything that tackles pregnancy, motherhood, any of the topics that involve those things, I post those on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you like that kind of content, if you're interested, hit that subscribe button and join the club, and also ring that notification bell. And don't forget, I am going to be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. And if you haven't seen the video that outlines the contest, I'm gonna link that right here so that you can watch, and I'll put all the details for the contest in the description down below. Let's get right into the video. One of the first things to know about the differences between a natural birth and a C-section is the stress that a child will go through during the labor. So now with C-section, you don't always labor. Sometimes you'll labor if the C-section is a decision made after the fact. But if you're having a scheduled C-section, you will bypass the labor altogether. Now during birth, the baby is going to go through some stress that is good stress and some stress that is bad stress. Usually when a decision is made to have a C-section after the labor has progressed, that means that the baby is in distress, and this is not a good thing. So that means the C-section was the option to ensure that the baby is healthy and ensure that mom is healthy as well. But if you're birthing your baby naturally, there are some stresses that are going to help push the baby through the birth canal and bring that baby into the world so that you can hold and snuggle that baby. That is good stress, and that is a difference between natural and C-section delivery. The second thing that I want to mention is the shape of the baby and the look of the baby. When the baby is being birthed naturally, the baby is going to usually take the form of the birth canal, meaning the baby's head might be a little squished when it's born, and the skin color might be a little bit different because of the agitation that happens while it's being birthed. When you have a baby that is cut out by C-section, you're not going to see that kind of stress and that kind of distortion with the baby's skin and head. That baby is going to look just flawless and pristine. However, after a vaginal delivery, the baby will change. Its head will go back to a normal shape and the skin color will be beautiful and you'll love it. So don't worry. These are just things that you should note for the differences between a natural delivery and a C-section delivery. Another thing to mention that is different when a baby is birthed by vaginal delivery versus a C-section is the different germs that the baby is exposed to. Now, when the baby is born vaginally, the baby is going to actually pass through the birth canal and be coated with, I'm gonna call it the vaginal serum. That is a combination of bacteria that the mom's vagina produces in order to protect the baby. When the baby is birthed by C-section, all of that gets eliminated. The baby is then exposed to different germs, like the germs that are found in a surgical room and the germs from a larger medical team, because there are more people involved with a C-section than there are involved with a natural birth. Now, with that said, there have been experiments done where they use a piece of gauze and incubate it within the mother's vagina. When the baby is being birthed by C-section, they then take that piece of gauze out and wipe the baby down as soon as the baby is delivered. This helps the baby to get that natural coating of mom serum right away when the child is just being born. And I haven't really done the research any further to see if this process is working, but I think that that's an awesome thing to go back and research and look it up for yourself. I think that it's very interesting how medical practices will try to mimic as much as possible a natural birth, because science and history shows that a natural birth does provide different things that are going to be beneficial to your baby. Now, this doesn't mean that if you give birth by C-section that you're not a superhero. You are still a superhero, but there are some things that you should be aware of when comparing vaginal delivery to C-section delivery. Another difference to note between a vaginal delivery and a C-section delivery is that the vaginal delivery helps to eliminate the fluids from the baby's lungs. That squeezing and pushing through the birth canal helps to squeeze the lungs and get all the fluids out. Now, this is very important in the development of the child later on. When the lungs are being squeezed in the birth canal during the birthing process and all of that liquid and fluid is coming out, that is less things that the doctor has to worry about once the baby is born. Less things to monitor, less things to check, and it brings me into my final point. Having a vaginal delivery versus a C-section can eliminate some disease or health concerns for your child. For example, when a child is born by vaginal delivery, it decreases the chances of your child developing childhood asthma. And C-section delivery has been noted to be connected to childhood obesity. Now, I think that is crazy. I've never heard of this, but in doing my research, I found that C-sections are widely connected to obese children. I think overall, whether your baby is birthed by C-section or birthed naturally, that we will do our best as mamas to protect our babies and ensure that they are healthy in every stage of life. So don't worry, this doesn't mean that if you have your baby by C-section, you're automatically gonna have to worry about childhood obesity, or that if your baby is birthed naturally that you don't have to worry about asthma. We always have to be checking in on the health of our babies no matter how they were born. Now I'm gonna answer the question that I've been asked so many times. Do I notice any differences developmentally between my child that has been born by natural birth versus the child that is born by C-section? Now, Teo was born naturally. That was my firstborn, my son, and Noelle was my secondborn, and she was born by C-section. And the very, very quick and easy answer is no. I have not personally noticed any differences in their development, and I have not noticed any differences in their immune system. Both of my children are thriving. They're both intelligent, both very smart. They have two separate personalities, but I don't think that that is due to C-section or natural birth. I think that's just the way that it is. They're just different people. But in terms of their health, they've been healthy children right from the start. So for me personally, I have not noticed any differences between the natural birth child and the child birthed by C-section. Have you ever even heard this question asked before? Let me know down below if you've ever experienced it, or if you have questions about the differences between natural birth and C-section birth. I would love to have a conversation with you in the comments, so don't be afraid to write something, and I promise you nothing is off limits. If it comes to your mind, let's talk about it. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this portion of the video. Now it is time for me to add a little bit more wisdom to your Wednesday, so let's get into Wisdom for Wednesday. If you watched yesterday's video, then you'll know that the affirmation is, I can play well with others. Now, when we select affirmations for our children, we try to make sure that they kind of line up with their stage of life. So right now, Teo and Noelle are learning how to play nicely with each other. And I thought that having an affirmation like this in the jar and others that are similar will help him to really understand that he has the power to play nicely with others. But when he pulled it, I immediately thought to myself, how am I gonna make this make sense for moms? And I had to sit and I had to think. And I thought about it and I was like, are moms playing nicely with others? Do women play nicely with others? Do you remember the movie Mean Girls? That is a terrible depiction of women interacting with each other. The title in itself tells you about what women are like when they get together. But I want to encourage us to try to debunk that myth, because I truly believe it is a myth. We do not have to be mean to each other. We do not have to fight or be catty or any of that stuff. We can actually play nicely with each other. So women, mothers, let us make that affirmation make sense to us. Let's say it together. I can play nicely with others. We gotta be nice, we gotta be kind, and we gotta be human. We as women need to stick together. There's a quote that says, when women support each other, incredible things happen. And I believe that with my whole heart. So let us do that affirmation together again. I can play nicely with others, especially with other mamas, with other women, with other human beings. We can play nicely with others. So that is Wisdom for Wednesday, and I hope that it was helpful for you. Of course, I always post Wisdom for Wednesday every single Wednesday, usually at the end of the video. And now is a really good time for you to just go ahead and join the club. Click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and I will see you in the next video.